face it, not everything you make in art is great. Sometimes you have good days, and sometimes you have bad days. Sometimes your art is excellent, and other times your art sucks.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about this drawing. In this latest episode of Your Art Sucks, we're going to take a look at this drawing. This is a fan art piece that I did a long time ago of Storm. As you can see, this is dated back in 2019. The numbers are inverted here in Peru and South America. We do the day first, then the month, then the year. So this is in June. This is 24th of June in 2019. Almost 5 years ago. So this is a piece from way back in the day. Just to give you an idea, when I was inking this, I was first learning how to ink. So I haven't been inking for a long time, just 5 years. It's not that long, I guess. But I don't know. But yeah. So I have not been inking for a long time. So I didn't. There's a lot about inking that I didn't know at this particular moment in time when I was doing this. And so yeah. So it's evident with the flaws in the piece. But yeah. So we're going to. Here's my paper. I'm gonna jot down what are some of the biggest flaws, if not the biggest flaws of this piece, and then we're going to just take a look at everything that I did wrong, because this piece sucks. The art sucks in this case. No, so what are some of the flaws? I'm going to just point out some things that I personally think are wrong, that things that I now can fix, and yes, so I'm just going to go through those ideas. So one of the first things that I see in this picture is the shadowing. The first thing that pops out to me is the shadowing. The shadowing is the same throughout the whole piece, and the approach that I took with this shadowing is just to do a series of parallel lines. All this is just parallel lines running across, parallel lines diagonally, all the way out. Parallel lines all throughout this, and that's parallel lines to a certain degree. If you know how to play with them, they come off great. Take in case, for example, you could take the artwork of Ken Hunt. You can look for him on Instagram and Facebook, Ken Hunt. And the most obvious one, Marc Silvestri. Lately, Marc Silvestri's been taking this approach of a very scratchy, and it's a series of parallel lines also. But when used with purpose, it can help give you weight, depth, and different values in the shading. But that is not the case in this drawing, because this I do them parallel, and I do it almost like robotically, because I use it to create these shapes here, these lines here, and so it's a bizarre effect, because it's like lines and then it wants to be like solid amounts, and yeah, so that's that's not the best way to approach shading. You can use parallel lines like this to shade. Everything can work in terms of shade, but to this degree, to have everything cover the whole page like this and not differentiate between the her costume, and the sky, or a shadow under or by her skin. To not have anything to help separate what's what, this becomes very mundane, dead, bland, boring, just from a glimpse. So that's the first thing that I think should be corrected. Now, the idea is not to just point out flaws and laugh at the flaws. No, we should also present solutions. So in this case, what what I would do, because now, for example, I would approach this completely different. But these lines here that are parallel, and in the majority of the cases here, I would just use solid blacks. I would use solid blacks. My idea with the background in this case, for example, or at least my thought process, was that Storm is in the air. There's a lightning bolt flashing down, and she's controlling the lightning bolt apparently. But there's no connection between the lightning bolt and her power set. I mean, she's got her hand sticking out, but we don't know if she's making the energy or the lightning, or if it's just a casual lightning bolt because it's in the rain. If it's in the rain, there's no raindrops. There's nothing. So there's a lot more that can be done though. I guess we can use that as a point number 2, effects. I would call that effects. Her power set. In this case, her show off her abilities. Show off her abilities. If this lightning bolt has any kind of connection to her, we have to show that. Maybe we can do like a ring of energy, or those lightning sparks around her hand, to show that she's connected, that lightning bolt is connected to her, or is being summoned by her, something like that. But here there's just nothing. So that's something that should be improved. And then another thing that pops to my mind is gesture. This is a very stagnant. I don't know if that's the correct word to use. But I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct. I'll have to check that out, but I'll check that later. But it's just it's not stagnant. It's static. Static, maybe the best word. What I'm trying to say is that she's just standing there. Like, there's no energy, there's no motion, there's nothing happening. She's just there. Like, if you look at the pose, it's just a straight line up and down. Normally when you're drawing comics and then you have your characters and then they're just straight up and down like that, that's pretty boring. You should not approach your art like that. Usually when you're doing figure drawing or gesture drawing, you have your character, and then your character is in some kind of motion, doing something. I don't know. Usually figures are in motion, and to do that you have to bend things. You can bend things in the same direction, or it's more interesting to bend things in opposite directions. Like, if, for example, if this guy is here, is looking up, the shoulders are this way, they have this angle. It's always good to counter that with this angle, and so you have your pelvis tilted that way, in opposite directions, and that makes for really interesting poses. Even in this case, for example, the idea is that she's looking at the camera. I could have the hand stuck out a little bit more, like in your face type thing. A little bit more in your face type thing. Even when you do those kinds of poses, there's still an action line there. There's still something happening. I could probably do some lightning like this. Something a little bit more dynamic. So this looks very dead, bland, static, I think would be the best word. So that's something that needs to get improved. So it needs to be improved. So gesture goes a long way. The effects make things pop. Shadowing goes a long way. Because now, for example, all of these areas that are with parallel lines, I would just go back over that with all black, and then just render out like I normally do, and fix that up. Also, something that could use a little bit of help is anatomy. I don't think that boobs are like that. Also, this line bothers me a lot. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this line here bothers me a lot. And this suggests that her crotch starts here and it goes down like that. I don't know, but I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, but that's not correct. It should be like this a little bit. Something like that. but that line is incorrect, and that line just throws me off every time I see the picture. Like I can't unsee that. But yeah, so that, for example, needs to get improved. I mean, in some cases, some parts of the anatomy is pretty good. No, here, the arm. I mean, the hand's pretty good. But like upon first glance, like you can't even see the hand because it's lost with all this hatching line. So you don't know if this is the costume or hand, the background, if that's the bolt of the light. You have no idea. So it's completely madness down there. So one thing that can help in this case, and this is a repeating mistake that I made in my earlier early years of inking, is line weights. You know, line weights could also go a long way to make the character pop out more. I can do, for example, the outline of this hand. Like the outline of this hand, I can do it in a heavy black line so that it looks as if it's coming closer to the viewer. Here, you know, I can do that. It's also, I think it would also be necessary to do that so you can separate the hand from the arm, from the body, from the cape. So I think it's necessary to have the hand stick out like that. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with using blacks, solid blacks, heavy blacks, because like for example, something that pops in this drawing is the X's here, and that's because they were done in solid blacks, and so more of that should be used across the page. I'm sorry, and also for effects, you can also raindrops, lightning, sparks, raindrops, no sparks, things like that could help improve the drawing. And yeah, so those are just some of the mistakes that I noticed. And yeah, this is a really interesting piece because this piece is actually in the intro video. So this is one of the first pieces I looked at when I was like, what pieces should I show to indicate that my art sucks? And so I pulled out the Ant-Man picture I've done a video on Ant-Man. There's other pictures that I've Hulk, for example. What a disaster that piece was. There's a video on that also. You should check it out in the channel in the back. Take a look at the back, the previous videos, the backlog of videos that I have, and you'll see Hulk, you'll see Ant-Man that are in the intro. There's also a Superman that will eventually get to that point. We'll eventually get to that Superman part, but that one is a disastrous drawing. And yeah, and here's something else. Look, I think I'm just now being able to see this, but there's a whiteout, I think, here on the side. Apparently, I must have gotten the lines and I must have hatched on her face too. Why would I do that? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that if I erased it is because it might look like a beard. I don't know, but yeah, you have to be very careful when you render. Yeah, just be very careful. And yeah, so that's what I have for today. Yeah, so what are the problems that I could identify? The shadowing. I use parallel lines when I should just use more solid blacks, or if anything, use lines with a little bit more attitude like this. Also the effects, show off her power set. Make sure that if this lightning bolt in the background is connected to her, then there has to be some kind of way that we can make that connection. Is she creating the lightning bolt? Is she in the rainstorm by accident or casually in the storm? What is going on there? So that could be touched upon. You can touch upon that and improve that. Make a connection there. Make it be part of the background. Something like that would be cool. Which is typical with Storm. You see Storm. In most cases, when people draw Storm, they draw her in the storm. They draw Storm in the storm, and commanding the lightning, the winds, and all that stuff. So show that. Show that with the effects, raindrops. So that goes into number 2, power set, raindrops, sparks, show off her abilities. Gesture. This pose is too static. It's just a straight line. And it shouldn't be like that. It's almost like a cross. Take a look. It's almost like a cross. It's up and down. And then her shoulders are just right across the page. So it's up and down like this, and then that. And then her arm, and then her other arm. Yeah, that's like the most boring thing you could do for a drawing. It should be, if anything, it should be like this and then curve up like that, and then arm down here, this arm smaller in the back, something, something a little bit more interesting. But yeah, so the gesture was horrible. Gesture was bad. Solutions to this obviously is to reinforce gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is awesome. I'm not the one to teach you how to do that because I don't think I'm a master at that just yet. Maybe one day, but you should check that out. Artists like Brett Booth, Kelsey Shannon. Kelsey Shannon works very well with gesture drawing. You should check him out. And yeah, so just check for that. Gesture drawing, and then anatomy. Just the torso area that I think is the hands. I think are pretty good. The face is pretty good. For example, one big mistake that I was making back in those days, and we should correct upon now actually, is in regards to the anatomy. I want to talk about female necks. Female necks are generally, or in most cases, they're a lot smaller than the male neck. So you can draw the head of a male, and then usually this side here, this usually follows down to the neck of the male. So you draw your head, and then this is the neck. And so here's the face. Here's the center line. Here's the collarbone. The shoulders. It's usually the case with women. With women, you can't do that. With women, you cannot do that. Women usually have their heads, and then the neck is like half of that, and it's like smaller, much smaller. The same idea, no? You have the center line here, collarbone also. Much more gentle, graceful features. So it's not the same. There has to be a different approach to that. And I noticed also that in a lot of my earlier drawings, I did like man-sized necks on it. So anatomy, you got to get that right. See, that neck has to be a whole lot smaller. Not super thin maybe, but a lot smaller than what I got here. So anatomy is another thing that you have to improve upon. And then line weights is a repeating problem that I've had in almost all of the videos that I've done of Your Art Sucks. Line weights have been a big issue because I was just in those early days of inking, and I did the same thing for all of it. Like my idea with inking back in those days was like, if I drew this line, then I have to ink that line. But that's not how inking works. Inking, you have to work with the light source, and you also have to work with the closeness of the camera. So you have to play with the lines, and then there's some cases where you have to draw like a thick line. You have to go from thin to thick. That's something that you have to that you have to do in art when you're inking. So all I did was just go over the lines. There's no line weight at all on any of this, so that needs to be improved. And so these are some of the mistakes that I noticed in this case for this video. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button. The videos get a lot more visibility if you hit the like button, so I would appreciate it if you just smash that like button. Thank you very much for checking the video out. I have a lot more art. I have stacks of bad art, so we're going to look at all of it. And so there's content for days, so don't worry about that. Even with my more recent drawings, I can pick out some mistakes that I've made. Because remember that art is a journey. You're never at the end. There's always things that you can learn. There's always room to improve. And so if I can point out some things that can help you, awesome. If you can point out some things that could help me, that would be greatly appreciated. Because I am not a guru of art. I don't know everything about art. The information that I share in today's video and in this series of Your Art Sucks, the information that I share is information that I have from my own experience. So there's things that I improved upon, and then I'm sharing with you like how I'm able to improve on that. So, for example, if I can point out these mistakes with the shadowing, is because now I'm doing something different that looks much better, and I'm not using these techniques from before that look like crap. So now I do something that looks a little bit better. So I'm giving you that information that I learned along the way in my journey. So art is a journey. There's always things to learn. You can always improve, and so that's what the series is about. Please be sure to check out all of my backlog videos, and yeah, please hit the like button if you like the video. If you didn't like the video, still hit the like button. Please help a brother out. And yes, also I want to announce that I'm almost 95% sure that I'm going to start redrawing all of the art that you see in the Your Art Sucks series. For example, last time I drew, I showed a Nightcrawler. The Nightcrawler sucked. I'm showing Storm. Storm sucked. I had a video of Cyclops, Daredevil. I had video of Ant-Man. So I'm almost sure that I'm going to start redrawing all of these, and so I can show you, the progress that's made from back in 2019 to right now, which is right now we're in the year 2024. So I'm going to show you that progress. So if you would like to see that, please let me know in the comments. Please comment something in the video, say I like the video, or tell me no, the video sucks. I really appreciate all the comments that I get, and most of the comments either talk about the art or talk about how the production value of the video, and I really appreciate all the comments. Very sorry for all of the that I say in my videos. I'm going to try my best to minimize that, and thank you very much for your support. And so yeah, so please, if you like the video, hit the like button, and I will catch you. Subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell all your friends about me. And yeah, that's it. And that's all for today's today's episode of Your Art Sucks. I will catch you in the next one. And that's it. Have a great, I'll do this right here. Have a great day and take care. Hello, everyone. The time is finally upon us. Ominous Avenging Death is now available. Avenging Death is a short 10-page story that serves as a preview of what kind of art you can expect and the world you'll see in the main story of Ominous. In Avenging Death, we'll see Zadok take on the monstrous Deathmonger in a 10-page fight scene that'll be sure to get you hooked into the world of Ominous. All of the artwork is done, including the line art, which was done by me, the colors, which were done by Emmanuel Orlas, and the lettering, which was done by Paul Bird. So grab your copy of the digital PDF file today for only $5. That's right, $5. Contact me in my DMs on Twitter for more information. Now, coming up next is the official trailer of Ominous Avenging Death. Enjoy.